Don't be afraid to try something new. Just because someone hasn't done it yet doesn't mean it's not a good idea. It's okay to try different things. One of the things I co-moderate, I think like Tracy said, I co-moderate the PR 2.0 chat, which is shameless plug every Tuesday at 8 o'clock if you would like to follow along. And we get about 100 or so people each week, PR people, who talk about how technology is shaping public relations. And it's great, and it's a good discussion, and we love it. But there are all of these other chats. Like Journ Chat is the big one that started all of them. And I think I read somewhere that there have been like 90 other industry chats that have spawned off of this. And I think there are probably like, off the top of my head, 10 PR ones that I could think of just right off the bat. So there are all these different little communities bubbling, but they're very community specific, almost siloed, as much as we all talk about the end of silos in social media. A lot of people, there's blog chat Sunday nights. Well, if you participate in blog chat Sunday night, you may not participate in Journ Chat Monday night because you probably don't have time to be doing a different chat every single night. So there are all these different communities, and we wanted to find a way to bring all those communities together to help people expand their network, to connect with new people, and then to find additional learning opportunities. So our chat partnered with the PR student chat, which takes place Wednesdays at noon, to create Chat Mixer. So we reached out to all the different hosts of all these different chats, invited them. We donated our Tuesday night spot to Chat Mixer, and we had this, we had no idea if this was going to work or not. It turns out that about 20 different chats participated, and in 1 hour of our discussion, there were 4,500 tweets sent, which is a lot of tweets. And there was a new chat that was started out of that, and people started participating in other chats. There's a new chat that started about measuring PR, and so I've seen a number of people tweet about how they learned about the Measure PR chat in our Chat Mixer because it was new and no one had participated in it. So we had no idea if that would work or not, and it did. And now we're going to do it again probably in June because it was such a great way for people to connect with each other in a different way and to meet new people. Which a lot of that is for a lot of us who are on social media, you want to use it to expand your network for business development purposes. So that makes sense. Measuring making sure that how you're spending your time is actually worth it. You want to be measuring engagement. It's not all about followers, so don't get hung up on the fact that you need to have X number of followers. That's not that big of a deal, really. You can't have 0 followers because then you're just talking to a vacuum, talking to yourself. So you do want to track and make sure you're gaining followers, but you also want to see, are people opening, when you're sending out links, are you tracking the link open rates? Whether it's on Facebook or Twitter, or if you're on Ning or whatever your community hub is, you want to make sure that people are actually reading the stuff that you're sending out there. Are people commenting on your blog? Are they linking back to your blog? Is this driving website traffic? Is it driving sales? Are people viewing your YouTube videos, commenting on them, favoriting them? Are you shifting public opinion? Are you healthcare reform was an interesting one, I thought, to watch how people tried to use that to educate people. Whichever side of the discussion you were on, there were people who were using it to try and educate about why you should be on their side. And so it was interesting to watch as people sort of started out kind of on the fence, maybe they didn't know, and then they would read some more tweets, and then by the end of it, they would end up on another, one side or the other. That was obviously a huge national issue. But even if you're a smaller company, whatever your industry is, are you moving the needle at all? Because if you're not moving the needle, you probably need to rethink your strategy. And then I want to just take a couple of minutes and talk about some of the trends to monitor. Video is the first one, which I think we already sort of touched on. Obviously, it's a big thing, and Kyle was talking about having the flip cam. That's a great way. The software client I was working with did a user group conference, and they were in the education industry, and education budgets have been cut, and so a lot of their people who normally would come to the conference couldn't come. And so we did a lot of video blogging from the event, and so we would, before and after each session, we would get an interview with the speaker and then an interview with a participant, so that even the people who weren't able to attend the event still were able to get some of the nuggets of information from it. Content aggregation, this I think is going to be a big deal. We're starting to see it sort of a little bit. Turn Social is the example that I have up here. There are a bunch of other toolbars, but basically taking all these social conversations and your presence and aggregating it back on your site. So this is an example of an apartment community website who uses this Turn Social bar. So someone, let's say you're considering renting an apartment from this property, you can go to the apartment, and then from here, you can see what people are saying on Facebook. You can see the walk score, so if it's a walkable community or not. You can see their reviews on Yelp, all of that without having to actually leave the site. So it's providing people access to the information that they want while still keeping them on your main site where you can continue to give them information and maybe drive them, what is the actionable item you want them to, for this place, you want them to fill out the leasing application. And so they can't fill out a leasing application though if they leave your site to go check your Facebook page. So by having all of this aggregated on your main site, it brings it all back together and keeps people where you want them.